Hello, I'm Dinesh D'Souza, and I'm going to be sharing some themes from Chapter 4 of my new book, The Roots of Obama's Rage. Obama's father, Barack Obama Sr., was an anti-colonialist. And the term anti-colonialism is a little unfamiliar to a lot of Americans. Let me explain what it means. Very simply, it means that the rich countries of the West became rich by invading, occupying, and looting the poor countries of the world. And moreover, within the rich countries, there are powerful corporate and plutocratic elites, powerful concentrations of wealth and power. And these are the people who continue to exploit the world and exploit their own citizens within the colonial countries. So even when colonialism ends, even when the British and the French go home, neo-colonialism continues. Neo-colonialism is the idea that colonialism remains through economic levers. The banks, the investment companies, the pharmaceutical companies, the oil companies, they continue to exploit and take advantage of the little guy, not only in the West, but also around the world. Now, another key idea of anti-colonialism is that the baton of leadership has passed from Europe to the United States. In other words, for centuries it was the Europeans who, and people would say the sun never sets on the British Empire. That's what we heard growing up. But after World War II, it was America that came into the lead. But even then, for about 30 years, America's power was balanced by the Soviet Union. It was only after the Cold War that America became the world's sole superpower, and it's only after 9/11 that, if you will, this superpower was unleashed to be able to do what it wanted, to invade Iraq, to invade Afghanistan, to leave, if you will, its powerful footprint all over the planet. So anti-colonialism today is the movement of resistance against Western power. It tries to, if you will, corral the rogue elephant that is the West, and particularly America, and it tries to bring down the neo-colonial forces within America, the powerful corporations and wealthy individuals who are seen as looting and oppressing the ordinary citizens of the world. This is anti-colonialism. This was the ideology of Barack Obama Sr., and my contention is it is precisely the ideology of Barack Obama Jr., the current President of the United States. Now, like any theory, you can say, all right, but what does it explain? What does it tell us about what Obama is actually doing? And so where our anti-colonial theory really takes off is in its incredible ability not only to account for Obama's foreign policy and his economic policy, but it also explains very little details that are going on that everybody knows about, but no other theory can account for. So I want to give a couple of examples of what I mean. Barack Obama came into the Oval Office, and one of the first things he did is he discovered that there was in the Oval Office a statue, a bust of Winston Churchill. Obama decided, I'm going to send it back to Britain. Now, the British were a little embarrassed because this was a gift from the British to America, and of course it symbolized what the British see as their special relationship with America, so they didn't want the bust to be returned. They said, well, if you don't want it in the White House, you want Martin Luther King or something, that's fine. Why don't you put the bust somewhere else? There are plenty of other federal offices, but Obama said, no, take it back. And in embarrassment, the British took it back, and it's now sitting in the home of the British ambassador in Washington, D.C. Now, to many of us as Americans, and in fact when this was reported, people said, how odd. This is a puzzle. Because we think of Winston Churchill as the man who fought the Nazis, the man who sustained Britain in World War II. But for me, growing up in India as a young boy in the 1960s and 70s, that was not our Winston Churchill. We remember Winston Churchill as the man who met Gandhi and said after that, I will not be the Prime Minister who presides over the decline of the British Empire. Winston Churchill was also the Prime Minister in Britain in the 1950s when there was a Mau Mau rebellion in Kenya, Obama's father's and grandfather's home country. Obama's grandfather and father were both jailed during this rebellion. And Churchill, when he heard about the Mau Mau uprising, it was a very brutal uprising. A lot of people were killed with machetes and so on. But Churchill sent in basically troops to slaughter these Mau Mau forces, to put a cordon of protection around Kenya, and to set up detention centers all over the country. So my point is, to me and to Obama, we have a different face of Churchill. And this helps to explain why Obama saw the Churchill bust not as a symbol of fighting the Nazis, but as a symbol of European colonialism.